check if things work properly. Just as usual. Just as each and every time I start a live stream. Okay, both the mic audio and the game audio seems to work. Let's change the source and we can start properly. Ladies and gentlemen and more, welcome back! Just like yesterday, once again with the greatest attorney adventures. Now, we have just started the 4th episode of the game. And in this case, there seems to be an invisible killer, or rather, this is how both Herlock Sholmes and Wilson presented the case in the introduction. We're talking about an invisible killer who attempted to murder a woman. And now we are trying to investigate the crime scene. What do we know so far? We know that fortunately the woman who has been stabbed so far is still alive, so right now it's not a murder, at least. We know also the person who was accused of being the murderer, Soseki Natsume. Yesterday I thought that the name, just like so many names in the Attorney series and in this game as well, I thought that it was a pun. That there may be a pun or some hidden significance behind that name, for example, behind the meaning of Natsume. But actually, it's an historical reference because Soseki Natsume, as I've discovered during the past few hours, was actually a real writer, a real composer of haikus. Also, just like Soseki in the game said, he was sent by the Japanese Empire to learn English, just like he said, and also historical reports state that he suffered a lot during his time spent in the British Empire. So much anxiety. So I see that considering the historical period the game is set in, of course the developers did their job in researching and trying to be not incredibly accurate. It's a researching game after all, but still accurate enough for the kind of game this is. It's just that I admit I was ignorant that Soseki Natsume was an historical figure, someone who actually existed, someone who actually existed instead of an invented character just for this game. I'm pretty sure that the lady first was not a man who actually existed, and I pray to God that no man in the universe was ever called like that. I really hope that there is no one in the world that has Lei as a first name, D as a second name, and then first as surname. I really hope that such a thing never happens. Ciao Zoe, non ti avevo visto, scusami. Su YouTube no, nel senso che ci sono gli archivi delle live qua su YouTube, però non che stream anche su YouTube. As I was just explaining to Zoe_83, he asked about whether I stream also on YouTube or not, and I just explained that I don't stream on YouTube. Rather, I have a YouTube channel for Twitch archives, MP Rewind. Okay, I think that I've explained just a few things about it. No, in generale, visto che comunque dovrei aver settato in ogni caso anche la lingua della live in inglese, quindi se non diventare nero, comunque per tutti quelli che dovessero venire, se ci sono, perché sì, anche c'è il settaggio proprio quando metti gestore streaming che ti permette di settare anche la lingua dello streaming da lì, quindi immagino che per l'appunto ti metti in modo tale che tu possa venire ricercato anche dagli utenti di lingua inglese, immagino. Zoe just asked about he just asked since I'm speaking English, whether I was also streaming on YouTube, and then explained that actually Twitch has a few settings that you can use to set your streaming language in English, and I assume, since I'm not completely sure, but I suppose that's the case, that by setting your stream language to English, it allows you to be researched from people, from English-speaking users. As I was trying to say, we have Soseki Natsume, who's been incriminated of being the killer of this mysterious woman. We don't know yet her name, surname. We have just a figure. We have just a picture of her being stabbed on the back. Her and their giant and their very big green coat. Sorry. We also know that unfortunately, outside of the victim, of the woman who was stabbed and Soseki himself, there were no other witnesses on the scene at the time, which makes things very difficult. Which makes our duty to try to protect him very, very rough right now. And that's why we are currently investigating the crime scene. Also, of course, who can be the prosecutor for this trial? But of course, Van Zix, the Van Zix we just defeated during the trial for the third episode. Someone who was going to be very, very angry and very determined to avenge what happened during the last time, since it was also a pretty weird trial that ended the aftermath of which was kind of weird, considering how our previous client McGilded died thanks to the omnibus being put on fire, and somehow he was inside there. The omnibus, which was in the courtroom itself. So many things are going pretty weird. Okay, after so much explanation, it's time to once again to proceed with investigation. So we've checked the snowman, we checked also the Scotland Yard officers. They were very rude when we tried to look for the surroundings. Now, what else can we check here? Can we check the carriage, of course? Of course she is. Is she going to pick the usual book of many wonders and wisdoms? It doesn't look like she's going to do that so far. Well, that's one way to get their attention. Exactly. No, Susato, no, don't pick the stone. No, Susato, leave the stone on the ground. Leave the stone on the ground. Okay, anything else? Anything else? Sarebbe l'assistente di Ryunosuke, Zoe, sarebbe Susato Mikotoba. Zoe just said that suddenly his attorney waifu, as he called her, appeared, and I just explained that she's our assistant, Susato Mikotoba. Now, where else can we check now? Where else can we check? I think I've already checked thoroughly here. I don't think there's anything else we can click on right now. Let's go back to the right side. Seriously? Nothing else to see? Nothing at all. Let's converse with the Gregson then. course she is. Mm-hmm. Will her dream become a reality in this game? Who knows? Mm-hmm. Wow. Ah sì, grazie Zoe. Grazie per l'invio poi del codice amico. I can perfectly imagine that, yeah, considering what Gregson just said, Scotland Yard officers are very, very busy. Actually, they wake people up, they start their workday by waking people up, and then, of course, they patrol the city constantly. Very rough job. 20 miles a day? By foot or thanks to the carriage? Ah, there it is, the Book of Wisdoms, finally. 20 miles? Yikes! Yeah, the same question that I just said, on foot or with the carriage? It looks like they do that on foot. It's a very big distance to cover in just one day, each and every day. And also, of course, the light or the gas street lamps, of course. So, literally, they work, what, 16 hours per day? 12, 16 hours. They have no free time at all. Exactly. I mean, it's not a surprise. Well, to be fair, Susato, you just said about that you dreamed about wearing them and not to be a Bobby. No. You can't give us your dream like that. Also, no. We don't want a dream. We'll give it to someone else. No. Keep your dream for yourself, please. Well, let's talk about the case then. I know that you already judged Mr. Natsume as a criminal, but anyway. To be perfectly honest, I can't comprehend Gregson's point of view since considering what we know so far. Again, Natsume and the victim were apparently the only two persons on the scene. So one was stabbed from the back, and the other was seemingly a witness, but there was no one else to confirm that. Also. Right, I forgot about this other element from my recap from earlier. The person... how was Natsume discovered as someone who was on the scene? Because, again, there were only Natsume and the one who was stabbed on the scene. There weren't Scotland Yard of Bobbies or anyone else, any other witness, so... how was it discovered? But of course, our good old Herlock Sholmes, or just like Natsume call him, Herlock Sholmes. Of course, he had to be involved somehow in this. So, at around 5 p.m. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm? What? Yeah, we can interpret it that way, I assume. Oh! Finally, something else for the court record. Sì, diciamo che le mangia... No, non hai visto poi neanche l'altra volta quando le mangiate con proprio grande forza. Può fare anche quello, eh. Zui _83 just talked about the way Gregson eats his fish and chips, and since he says that he has a great style in doing that, and then explained that he can be very voracious in eating constantly fish and chips with also the fish that somehow regenerates itself, responds each and every time he chews it somehow. Well, thank you for the generosity. Mm-hmm. Yes, Gregson. Just like Natsume said. Just like I said earlier, there is a very good reason why Gregson calls Natsume a criminal. Ah, so there were witnesses then. Let's talk about them. Oh, that doesn't sound good at all. Ah! Of course, the inside job. Someone from Scotland Yard is one of the witnesses. Ah. That changes them a lot. Quite the coincidence, but yeah. To talk with him? Of course. Not before the trial, during the trial. Yeah, just some small little breadcrumbs, and just because he has to. Thank you, Susato, for stating the obvious. Herlock Sholmes. Our hero, Herlock Sholmes. From Natsume himself. And I repeat, to be accurate, he said Herlock Sholmes. Susato, come on now. You've already witnessed his great reductions multiple times now. You know that they can be inspirational, maybe in a very distant sense of the word, but not exactly accurate. You should know that by now. You've also seen Rinosuke himself correcting him, so come on now. And now he's angry. To the point that he is pointing his fish and chips at us. Oh, someone is jealous. To be perfectly fair, Gregson is correct about the incomprehensible rubbish, and also he's also correct to not understand how can he appear from anywhere. That's one of his talents. No, the fish and chips, no! No, 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 no. Poor fish and chips being strangled like that. That's one way to call him. Gibble gobble. Okay. Of course. Susato loves that magazine. And we already know that you are in several of them. I can understand where he's coming from, at least. Also, let's not forget that if I remember correctly, yesterday Gregson also said that Herlock considers him something like one of the good members of Scotland Yard. So at least Gregson is considered above the others. But still, everyone else, it does seem like they're not given such a great consideration from Herlock himself. Or rather, in his stories in the Rance magazine. Wow! A pretty complex relationship indeed. Now, what about tomorrow's trial? In the end, we are going to defend him anyway, but still... But the thing we are Japanese then. Yeah, we already know that. Bit strange. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, right! He suddenly returned just for our first trial in the British Empire, for the one where we defended Mesum and Gildry, that's true. He stayed away from court for 5 years. Also, we don't know about the reason behind his return, now that I think about it. Yeah, Natsume is everything but a master criminal. He is a master cheerleader for whatever reason, but a master criminal? Nah. Sunshine. So, what's the reason behind Van Zix being the prosecutor for this case then? Is it really because he wanted to avenge the last time's loss? Is that the reason? Even before knowing that Ryunosuke would have been the defendant's lawyer once again. Yeah, true. So many things to ask at the trial. We have to talk about. We'll talk with the policeman who was a witness. We'll talk with the 1-6 about his reasonings behind being the prosecutor for the trial. Well, so many things to ask about the trial. The Lord of Darkness. Yeah, let's leave Gregson to eat his fish and chips, his eternal fish and chips now. Susato? Yes. With who? Herlock? She really wants to talk with him again. Exactly. Well, technically she's not wrong. Ah, yeah, sure, it's not just your selfish desire. Sure. We totally believe that, Susato, don't worry. Ah. Don't tell me you're going to execute Susato takedown now. For what reason, for? Also, of course, that's from the Rance magazine. Exactly. Now that I think about it, isn't it a bit dangerous to have your exact address in such a well-known publication? I mean, considering Herlock Sholmes' job, passion for investigation and collaborating with Scotland Yard, isn't it a bit dangerous for the fact that there can be so many criminals who know where he lives and then they know where to find him? If I were him, I would have used a slightly different address at least, something a bit more fabricated. That's way too exact. For the same reason, Gregson doesn't like too much being so notorious thanks to the Rance magazine, since again it makes his job more difficult and also it creates so many whispers and rumors and useless, stupid, baseless rumors about him and his job. The price of fame. But again, Herlock, you don't really need to put your own real address in there, considering the job you considering your hobby. I mean, your job rather, since you are a detective. Okay, summon a carriage. And let's go to Baker Street then. Okay, it's time to meet the man himself in its own home. Oh, animated cutscene this time.
Thank you very much. It's just up there overlooking the street. Good day.
That's again. English accent.
This is it.
221B.
The residence of Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
it looks very elegant. There's some... It's elegant, but also... There's so much disorder here. I can only imagine how much excited Susato can be. Yeah. Susato, are you in trance? Yeah, she's in trance. Unfortunately, I don't think Ryunosuke can hear that. She turns herself again just to admire the sight. But one question: since they entered, I suppose that this means that Herlock Sholmes is at home. But where exactly? Also, what the hell is that thing on the left of the peak of the room? What the hell is that? Yeah, she is very obsessed. But where is Herlock? Herlock! I can't imagine that he left the door open. How the hell did you enter his home then? He really did he really forget to lock it? To lock the door? Seriously? Can anyone enter inside his home like this? Ah, this must be Iris Wilson then. There she is. This means that she must already collaborate with Herlock Sholmes. And that's why Herlock has some gear with the flower decoration. You know, because I was thinking that maybe the two would have become a team later on in the game, maybe as a possibility, even if again Herlock already had the coat with the flowery motif, as well as some of the gear that I assume that probably were created by Iris herself. But this seems to be a good confirmation to me that they already work together. Susato! Wake up, Susato! Susato, don't stare at the room like that. Susato, did you see the girl then? Susato! Ah yes, the girl is extraordinary. Considering what she creates between... grazie per in bocca al lupo, Dario77. Considering what she creates... Maybe she's extraordinary, but that's not the reason why Susato just said that. She's just so in trance, just so admiring the sight of being in the room, in Herlock Sholmes' own suit. Ciao anche a te, zio Alba82. The one she dreamed about for so long, after all the stories she... sì, domani sera per l'evento Sony. Grazie anche per questo. I just received some excitement for the fact that I'm going also to live react to tomorrow's PlayStation Showcase. It's going to be an mainly Italian stream for just for information. But of course, if there are English-speaking guests, I can obviously shift from Italian to English on the spot. Did you understand that, Susato? 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 Look here, sweetie. Susato? She doesn't care about anything at all. There could be an explosion outside, and a bomb could fall right outside Baker Street. But she wouldn't care at all because she's just so admiring the fact that she technically is living a dream. The bow area? You know, Suke, come on now. Thank you, Ryunosuke. You woke her up. Thank you. And this must be Iris's theme then. She clearly did not notice her. What does she have on her bag? Thank you for the comprehension, thank you. Oh. How does she know about the fact that there's a trial tomorrow? And how does she know that Ryunosuke is the lawyer for the case? Exactly. I can see that Susato is shocked as well right now to see that Iris knows about everything. Did the Gregson inform her, or rather Scotland Yard, did Scotland Yard inform Herlock Sholmes? Harley? Oh no, Naya will never stop calling him Harley. Why? Why did you do that, Iris? Why? Good question. That seems rather difficult. Of course, she's a Herlock Sholmes collaborator, but even then... Another good question. But of course, that's because she's his assistant. And there we go. Also, yeah, the fact that she lives with Herlock, or rather Harley. Okay, so in the other episodes of the live streams, I had in mind the idea that maybe the Wilson from the stories could be Iris Wilson, just portrayed as an older man. I actually thought that there could be a relationship between her and Dr. John Wilson, the one who was killed in the Japanese Empire for the first trial. I even thought that maybe John Wilson collaborated in the past with Herlock Sholmes, and that due to the aftermath of Wilson being killed in the Japanese Empire, then Iris, who could have been something like Wilson's nephew, distant distant nephew maybe decided then to collaborate with Herlock Sholmes, but no, it looks like she already collaborates with Herlock, and then also she decided to be portrayed as an older man in the Rance magazine's stories. Welcome Ryane0812, welcome to the live stream. Also, yes, what the hell is this? I mean, it's a rather unusual situation. Wilson, yes, exactly. She's Herlock Sholmes' assistant, and again, and once again we have the shocked Susato, a pretty rare sight considering how thoughtful, how wise she can be. Sì, posso parlare tranquillamente in italiano, però questo sarebbe una live stream principalmente in inglese. Vabbè, se me lo chiedi, volentieri. Pensavo di aver messo per l'appunto in inglese la live stream qua come settaggio, perché c'è, come ho detto prima, anche a Zoe_82 c'è 83, c'è il settaggio ovviamente in inglese. Vabbè, comunque sia, I was just explaining that why I was speaking in Italian. No, parlo italiano, certo, però per l'appunto questa è una live stream che sto facendo in inglese. È proprio la sto facendo per la serie dedicata da Greatest Attorney. Royane didn't think that I could speak in Italian, and then I just explained that actually this is I'm speaking English for this specific series of live streams. Oh no. First it was Harley, then we have Susie for Susato, and my god, Rune is awful! Rune is awful! Runo is so bad to hear as a name. Susato makes sense for Susie makes sense for Susato. But Runo for Yunosuke? Ah. Yeah, Runo is awful. I agree, Yunosuke. Runo is very, very awful. Me too. Of course, Susato has so many questions as well. Of course. I mean, she's going to ask, "You're the Wilson? The old man Wilson?" Let's start with that. Susie. Is there a mod in the game that allow me to have the nicknames instead of the actual names, so I can see Susie instead of Susato here in the dialogue window? This just made me realize how long the kind of time the times that the Rance magazine spent while being shipped to Japan. I mean, the fact that Susato must be reading pretty old, quite old issues of the magazine then, considering the delay caused by the shipping. Just a random realization. Also, I can imagine how proud Iris must be feeling to hear a Japanese person enjoying the stories about Herlock Sholmes and Wilson. Yeah, wait, did she just say her stories? Yes, of course, the fact that she is the Wilson for the stories. And so she actually writes them down. Oh, the case of the speckled band. I wonder how did he portray in his report Ryunosuke and Susato then. Of course. Ah. Well, which would be what Herlock Sholmes deduced during the case. Exactly. Thank you for knowing that the snake wasn't exactly the perfect fit for the case. Yeah, this is going to come off as a rather shocking revelation for Susato. Since Iris changes details here and there, this means that the stories in the Runs magazine aren't 100% accurate compared to what actually happened to Herlock. And also, yes, all the stories are written by Iris. Wait. So there is a relationship between the two? Susato, that's the exact same name as the Dr. John H. Wilson from the first case. And did you never realize it until now? Was it the same name? It was John Wilson. I can perfectly remember that. Was it all actually John H. Wilson? Also a doctor of medicine, just like John H. Wilson. Also, of course, that's her. She just fabricated it. No. I mean, the fact that she is an old man, of course, but... Why am I both surprised and completely lacking shock? No, Susato, please don't cry. No, Susato, don't cry. That sounds indeed very strange. And I'll leave it at that. Because it actually did fall apart. Okay, now let's ask her about herself, Iris. That's also correct. Exactly, that one exactly. Also, don't point it at us, please. Ginny, another nickname. Thank you, Iris. Thank you. Technically, Iris is involved, and now that I think about it, technically Iris is very involved with the evidence tampering, since Gina used her weapon to smoke bomb the courtroom, and that allowed her to tamper the omnibus. Sounds very dangerous. Exactly, you know, okay, you're correct. She can be incredibly dangerous. Your technician? Herlock. Of course, she's not his daughter, of course. Good question. And again, probably another good reason why she depicted herself as an older English gentleman in the stories. Okay. Ah! Yeah, since I'm doing this not in the correct order. We already know that she's 10 years old, but they had yet to ask about it. Yeah, what about them? Is that because they're not on this world anymore, or she's not going to tell us then, at least not now. Okay, I'll accept it. Okay, let's ask her about her deductions. Were they deductions, or don't call him Runo, please? I'm going to call him Runo from time to time, but oh my god, Runo is awful. But was it Herlock, the one who told you about Rinosuke and Susato? Or was it Scotland Yard who informed Herlock and then Herlock informed her? Oh, her goggles. Oh, so she's going to do this deduction dance as well. Oh, and they're on the spotlight. Thanks to his badge. Also, of course, she met him outside the courtroom. That's true. Her power of observation is impressive. You can learn one or two things from her, Yunosuke. I mean, you already have a pretty good power of observation, or at least that's what you say, but you can still improve with that. And Iris seems to be a rather interesting, rather good teacher at that. Considering Van Zig's reputation, reduction. Oh. I didn't know about that. That's the first time to see that stamp on her right fist. Good reduction. Can we say that Iris is way better at reductions than Herlock Sholmes himself? Unfortunately, she doesn't seem to dance during the process. That's a shame. But her deductions are incredibly solid, incredibly grounded, and her power of observation is incredible. She is extraordinary. Susato was correct, even if for the wrong reasons. Solved. course. Thank you, Herlock, for spilling the beans. I love how this happened yesterday as well, with Herlock laughing, and then right when Rinosuke ended his phrase, he did another pose. And this time he actually pointed at the Natsume as Mr. Natsume. Oh, poor Mr. Natsume is trembling again. Okay. Thank you, Iris. You said it better than anyone else could. Herlock is silly. Anyway, bravo! Now that was one hell of a deduction. Of course, both Susato and actually both Susie and Rune are shocked. I am shocked as well. 100%, Iris. 100 freaking percent. Actually, I'm going to say that you improved his style. You didn't dance for. There's some work to do still. There's still some work to do. Let's ask her about the case then. Well, of course, thanks to the Rance magazine. And now we understand how, at least now we know that there were other witnesses, the policeman and his wife. Natsume. Poor Mr. Natsume. And that's why the trials, they try to end trials quickly. It's a great seat after all. That's one way to actually contextualize the short span of time allowed for trials in-game. Aww. Or the scene of another case. Oh. that's an unfortunate misspelling, Mr. Natsu for Natsume. No, 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 another nickname. Iris is a treasure for many reasons, including the nicknames for so many characters. I wonder what's the name that she. How does she name Gregson then, or Von Six, for what matters? Okay. Of course we did. Grexy, and we have the nickname for Gregson. Thank you. Oh. Now I want to check the message. Oh, she just read it. Okay. Oh. Actually, wait. Is that bribing coming from Iris? I mean, since there's oh no, it's just a card. No. The coin is real. Is that bribing, Iris? She's very welcoming. And she just disappeared. Strange to have the cut here for the to be continued. That's where the cat? But well, let's progress a bit more. And we're back to Briar Road. Where's Gregson? Yeah, tip sure. That's bribing. Everyone, Susie, Nuro, that's bribing. I want to check her postcard a bit more first of all. She does look very powerful right now. Whoa. Also, that's a lot of money. And there's her message. Message isn't exactly. No. I believe Rinosuke's interpretation is not far from the correct one. Again, this is bribing. Iris literally bribing Scotland Yard. Actually, a Scotland Yard inspector. Now that I think about it, she's trying to bribe it in the best way possible, both with money and with the sweetness. That's a two-way bribing that can be incredibly effective. And I'm scared. I am very, very scared of Iris Wilson. I would never want to have someone like her against me in any occasion. Let's present him the inviting cutesy postcard from Iris. Rexy. No worry, Gregson. Now you're going to talk, I fear. Yes, a present. Herlock. Oh god, she's really powerful. Of course, Gregson must know her, but it looks like he actually called her in her ladyship. Really? Calm down, Gregson. Calm down. Ah. Oh. Well, at least you rewarded, you're paid for your appearances, Gregson. I don't know whether we can stay the same for all the other Scotland Yard officers who were seemingly depicted as not exactly the best in the world from the Rance magazine. So it's actually something that happens very often, not once in a lifetime. Hmm. Oh, good question. Yes, Mr. Natsume, don't call me like that, please. Oh, is that where Natsume lives? In what looked like the abandoned building with the windows actually blocked by bricks? Of course he had to live there, of course. Mr. John Garrideb? Long live her ladyship. Iris Wilson is powerful. Do never forget that. Iris Wilson's power in London is something that cannot be underestimated. Okay, let's check then the abandoned building. I mean, Mr. Natsume's lodgings. And what the hell are you? Wait a second. Oh, right, the landlord. The landlord, of course. Thank you, Susato. Just like always, you're able to put the words in our to say the words that we are unable to say. Oh, did she just open her eyes for 1 second? She did. But why do you go? Okay. Susato still living her dream despite knowing the truth behind the Run's magazine stories. Oh. Okay. Let's check first the surroundings though. What's that on the ground? Oh, really? I must have not clicked in the right spot then. There seems to be something on the ground. A corpse! No, please, no. Hopefully. Of course you can do that. Also, look at the Lord's, the way the Lord is looking at you, Susato. Please, look at that. What the hell is going on here? It's so broken. Yeah, sure, but it looks pretty broken as well. Look, Susato, I believe that a cannon, that using the cannon in this room will cost way more than some cracks on the shelves and the jars. Okay, here. Let's check the table then. That's also true. Is it the English way also to destroy shelves on the wall? Oh. Okay, we checked here. We can check that specific part yet, but there's something on the floor. Again, there is something on the floor. I can't... I'm not able to understand what is it yet. It has a tubular shape, but there is something on the floor. Will we be able to understand what is it later? Maybe, who knows? Shall we check the paintings then? A Bally Wizard. Huh. Yeah, in her case it's more air throws rather than punches. Okay. Oh. It looks like that's the case. Hmm. That's true. Basically, it's just like the star of at least you tried, or something like that. You were there, and that's why we award you with that medal. Hmm. Okay, let's check here now. Hmm. He really doesn't like to talk about his past in the army. It's great past in the army looking at the medal. Also, why are there... What are they doing in like this? They are and they are exceedingly big. You're correct, Rinosuke. Accidentally, sure, why not? And what would be the use for those shells? What would be the use for those? Exactly. He doesn't know either, does he? Yikes! That must have been very artful. Is that why you're on the chariot now? Wow. The first year in what 20 plus years, considering when the game should be placed. So their only usage so far has been arting Gadibeb's foot. Okay. They left an impact, I'm sure of it. Let's check the window now. Yeah, let's check the window. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Hmm. That's true, since the window seems to be dusty, so it would have been difficult for them to accurately witness the crime when it happened. Okay, let's check the time. Let's check the cannon now. Let's check the cannon. Mm-hmm. Do you consider that a toy? Seriously? Do you realize that you just have a gigantic cannon in your house for a potential usage that may never happen. Especially when it's your maid, the one who throws at you something as big as those mortar shells. Also, apologies, it's Mr. Garibdeb and not Gadibeb. I don't even remember how did I call it first. But whatever, it's Garideb. We noticed it. What a sad ending for that cannon. Let's see what those books are about. Now it's going to say, boff, reading. I've stopped reading ages ago. I'll take this explanation then. Oh, so he's a fan as well, or rather, at least he read the one issue as well, at least. And also lots of people who know about him, who know where he lives. Is there anything else to check? I can check that weapon. We check there. We check the cannon, the uniform, the medal. Of course, we have to check. We have yet to check the maid and the Garideb themselves. Also, that's probably the first thing that I should have checked, and actually I checked them for last, of course. Actually, it's rather funny now to read that Sholmes is a retired soldier, and the only medal that he got was for I was there. It's a bit funnier now that I think about it. She's right. Ooh! Why? Joan, just one advice. When you serve the tea, open your eyes. It can be very useful to properly judge the amount of tea you serve. Again, open your eyes. Perfect. Keep those eyes open like this. No, why did you close them again? Why did you close them again? Very quiet with. Also, this is already the second mistake coming from Joan. We've learned at first that she inadvertently made one of those mortar shells fall onto one of Mr. Garideb's feet, and now we have that she served way too much tea. Oh, we are very aware. I mean, Ryunosuke himself was just involved in a trial about an Englishman killed in the the Empire of Japan, and organized in such a way that the Japanese Empire wanted to have a quick resolution. We are well aware of the treaty. Oh yeah, now that I think about it, this is the opposite case compared to the first case. In the first case we had, or rather, the opposite context. In the first case we had an Englishman being killed by at first, that's what looked like the first, by a Japanese student, Rinosuke himself, in the Empire of Japan. Now we have an English woman being stabbed on the back by a Japanese man, being accused of being a murderer, in the British Empire. Huh. There's some parallelism that I didn't notice until now. Oh no, poor Susato. She thought that Garide was a fan of the Rance magazine as well. Oh, was that supposed to be a secret, Garideb? Why are you sweating? And nothing else about that. Okay. So Herlock is in Soseki's room. Okay, let's check the time. I believe that we can call it a day for we can stop right here for today. Let's save. And we're done for today. So, the Greatest Saturn Adventures will come back with these live streams next week, next Tuesday, just as usual. I'm going also to confirm the schedule as soon as I can, probably Monday, possibly Monday already. But yeah, unless there's something unusual, unless anything unusual happens. Next Tuesday we'll be right back with the Greatest Saturn Adventures, and we're going to ask to both Joe and Maid and Mr. Garideb what's going on. Also, I want to remind everyone that all these live streams are going to be uploaded on MP Rewind, the YouTube channel of Twitch Archives. Anyway, thank everyone for joining me today for this live stream. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. I hope whoever is going to check this live stream whenever it's going to be uploaded on MP Rewind will enjoy it as well. Tomorrow is going to be time to live react to the PlayStation Showcase. That as I said earlier in the live stream, that's going to be a mainly Italian live stream. But there are English speaking persons who want to check it out, I'll be glad to shift from Italian to English on the spot. Anyway, thank you for watching. See you next week with the Greatest Saturn Adventures. Tomorrow with the PlayStation Showcase live reaction Italian. See you next time. Ciao!